Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Brand Rush Podcast. I'm your host, Arab, along with my co-host, Quick. And today, we got on along a guest who is currently being sued by the TBS Go Big Show for $5 million. Not $5 million in one. There's a reason for that. Keep that in mind as we go through this podcast. Today, we have on Reckless Ben, otherwise known as Ben Schneider, a comedic genius in the YouTube space, I'd say. Ben, welcome to the podcast. It's a pleasure to have you here.
What's up?
Oh, thank you for having me, guys.
You've never been on a podcast before,
I've done a few of them on different YouTube channels.
right?
Never been on, I've been on a few podcasts before.
Right.
When I did my Scientology series, what are some other things I did? When I did the Flat Earth series, the whole Flat Earth community was dying to have me on their podcast, or I guess the Round Earth community, like the anti-Flat Earthers.
Right.
How long have you been YouTubing for? It sounds like you've gone through quite an evolution of content.
So I have been putting videos up for a few years, just like stupid stuff that I thought was funny. But I started actually making like YouTube videos about a year ago. It's been about since January of last year is when I was like, okay, like I'm gonna actually make this for the purpose of putting it on YouTube. And I've been learning a lot, but still learning.
How old are you?
I'm still at the beginning of my career, guys.
How old are you?
25.
Okay,
Nice.
I'm 24
Oh,
and
man.
he's 26. So
Yeah. Bro, you know what's crazy about you going on that show? You were on that show with one of my friends, actually. One of my friends was on
Really?
that
Who
show.
was it?
It was Kurt. You know who Kurt was? The dude that did like the ramp tricks from Nitro.
Oh, Curtis? Yeah, Curtis
Yeah.
is sick, dude.
Dude, he's the man.
Everyone thought he was going to win, and
Yeah.
he didn't win unexpectedly. He was my favorite actor the whole show, I thought.
Yeah.
The act you did with the traps, the mouse traps and shit.
Yeah.
So Edwin did a similar act.
Oh, yeah.
Tell
I
him.
forgot to bring that up. Yeah. Have you ever heard of the Joke Squad? You heard of the Joke Squad?
Yeah, dude.
That's him.
So that's me and my three buddies, like Jack. It's Jack, me, and Merrick, and we did America's Got Talent, and we went up there and we did trampoline stuff with tasers, mouse traps, and thumbtacks, and we ripped our pants off on national television to reveal a scantily clad Speedo underneath, which was hilarious because they knew about the Speedos beforehand, but they fucking they're like, all right, look, if you're gonna do that, you need to stuff them bitches because we don't want like a fat dick print on that shit national television. And they didn't tell us that till like the day we were gonna do it. So we were like, what the fuck? So we went around back and they had like a big thing of like coffee by like Dunkin' Donuts, and we took a bunch of Dunkin' Donuts napkins and stuffed our shit with them. And I'm telling you, bro, I have never chafed harder in my life. Dunkin' Donuts napkins are fucking cardboard, dude. Sucked.
Dang, dude. I
Yeah.
didn't stuff my Speedo at all. That sounds like it sounds like I copied you guys exactly.
No, that's not. That's not what you're saying. You're just saying
when we
you guys are very similar.
watched it. Yeah, when we watched it, I wondered if you had gotten any inspiration off of the stuff that we did, which probably like, you know, copying on YouTube is like.
So when you guys first came out with the video, I actually don't think I saw the America's Got Talent one that you guys did, but I did see the one you guys did in the backyard where it went super viral. If you jumping off your roof onto the the mouse traps and tasers and stuff. This actually was a little bit of the inspiration for it.
That's so cool.
No way. That's sick. It's a small world.
The Speedo was just a coincidence, but I mean, you have to do it. If you are going to go into mouse traps, though, I mean, it kind of is, you have to do it in the Speedo or else people are just going to say, oh, well, you had clothes on it. What
Yeah.
I mean, the Speedo is
Does it
kind
hurt?
of like the only way to do it if you're going to send it.
Do they even
in my
like
opinion.
catch you? Like, do the mouse
What?
traps? Do the mouse traps
I mean,
even like get attached to you? I feel like the thumbtacks are the worst ones.
The thumbtacks
I've never
work.
tried thumbtacks. I actually stepped on a thumbtack once. It went into my foot, and it was one of the worst things ever. And I was like, I will never do. anything
Bro,
with
listen.
thumbtacks.
So was your filming experience like dog shit too, or was that like well produced? Who owns that? It's not fucking Simon Cowell. Like he doesn't own that production, does he?
No, it's TBS. So TBS owns it. It's just some weird random producer.
No. After Ben's done with them, Ben will own that.
True.
Maybe.
But listen, where'd you film it? Where was it filmed?
In Macon, Georgia.
Oh shit!
Yeah, nope.
I'm from
Yep.
Georgia.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they filmed it in Georgia. It's the cheapest place to film, so they flew us all out there. It was actually really cool. A lot of the people have actually done other shows like America's Got Talent and stuff,
Yeah.
and they said this was one of their favorite experiences
Oh, dude.
because COVID was happening. They kept us all in a COVID bubble, so we were forced to just interact with each other for a full month, pretty much. And like all the contestants being friends with each other, and it was actually a really fun experience. And I'm kind of glad I was like that COVID actually was happening because it did create that type of environment where
Right, so
it's
like,
just us with each other and we can't
the
interact
title would
with
be like
anyone else.
"Reckless Ben supports millions of people dying."
We
No, I don't support that. I just support
I'm just kidding.
the us being safe about the millions of people dying.
we filmed it. We filmed ours in LA, and it was like in I guess Simon Cowell owns like the whole like product, like the it's like the America's Got Talent, American Idol like vibe. But dude, I gotta tell you that shit was fucking kind of bad, dude. We'd
Really?
be there for like 9 hours a day, and most of the time we'd be on standby. And then like other like days we'd have like full 9 hour like filming session days, and they used literally none of it, bro. And
That's how every TV show is though. I mean, yeah, same with us.
dude, but listen. So but when we did ours, we did the tasers, the mousetraps, and the thumbtacks. They used so like on national television, they used the tasers and the mousetraps. They did not use my thumbtack bit because I actually got like like thumbtacks in my fucking hand, whatever. Like, but like it was funny because when we did it and they saw that there were still like thumbtacks attached to me, they like fucking yanked me off stage. They fucking made me sign this huge release that was like I wasn't gonna sue them because they got hurt on their show and shit. And I was like, dude, what the fuck did you expect was gonna?
Why did they make you sign it afterwards?
No, they never signed it because we never did like dude, we never did it. We never like practiced it at all. We told them conceptually what we were thinking about doing. They set it up and we never did it before we actually did it on TV. We literally sat there and played Fortnite on a laptop for 3 days.
Well, yours wasn't something that you required.
Jealous.
Like Ben fucking walked on a rope, so he had to practice that. Yours was just like what, jumping off a
Yeah, we just jumped off
a
big platform onto that. But the thing that was funny to me was they knew that we were gonna do that. They knew that most like dude, what happens when a human body falls on thumbtacks, right?
For
like
sure.
I'm sure it gets
getting
what I'm saying?
Goosebumps. Yeah.
And they yanked me off that shit, bro. They made me sign a huge release. They made me like this and that, and then they never put it on TV. They only put like us ripping our pants off together, like all of us coming on stage, etc. And I don't know, that shit was always funny to me. I was like, dude, that's such a big deal for no reason.
Yeah, there's definitely a reason why they did that. It might be because maybe it would turn viewers away. Maybe they think the audience would like be shielding their eyes at that moment, and then they're not watching the actual like content, or maybe like they think, oh, that'll cause them to change channels because it's so graphic. I don't know.
I just think it was more them probably worried about me doing something because they didn't get me to sign that release beforehand. I'm probably sure about that.
Wow.
But yeah,
I'm jealous, dude. Because I pitched the idea. I want to do it over hungry alligators at first.
I saw.
And we actually like went really far with like taking it. They were like, oh, we can get you the alligators and stuff. And I was actually gonna like full send it over the hungry alligators. And then like last minute, they're like, oh yeah, we can't do the alligators anymore because we need to see that you've done this first before we can do it. Which if they would have told me that at the beginning, I probably would have had time to actually do it over, like to find some guy with alligators and be like, hey, can I do this? But they told me last minute, and I'm like, how am I going to find alligators in like a 2-week period? I can't. And so the show was really like, yeah, we have to see that you've done it before we can allow you to do it, which I guess props to them for being safe about it, at least, you know.
You don't just have a guy that could give you alligators whenever?
I mean, if I hit up enough people, I feel like I could do it. Like,
I'm just fucking with you, bro.
Enough zoos I mean, there's alligator people around the world.
For sure.
It's hilarious. We actually know a dude that like runs a gator farm. He let us like swim with his gators and like had like professional photography. Like I dressed up in like a crazy overall, like it was like not separated at all in the same tank as a giant gator with like a photographer that was taking pictures of us. His name's like Gator Boy Chris, but it's like a real Florida thing. So that I don't know, it's crazy that dude, also I wanted to say, when I watch your shit, you know, like when you watch like YouTube videos, you're like, okay, this kid's like funny. and like, you know, he's good at editing or whatever. But dude, you're really fucking talented on that slackline. Like, holy shit, dude. Like,
thanks so much.
I watched that shit where you were like over like this like gross like little pond or something. You know what I'm talking about? I was like
Yeah.
like one of the first ones, and you were just fucking it up. I was like, holy shit, how long have you been doing that for?
So I've been slacklining, oh my gosh, maybe like 6 years now, 7 years. I started when I was 18. I'm 25. So yeah, I was like just turned 18. That was like my 18th birthday. So however many years that is.
Party tricks?
What?
Why'd you learn it? Just for a fucking party trick? So
No, some of my friends, like my whole friend group got into it back in high school. It was like kind of like the little hipster thing to do for like a month or whatever. And then I was like, oh, I'll get one. And I was actually the worst out of all my friends. And so I was like, okay, maybe so it motivated me to try harder, you know? And I guess I was never like really that coordinated or good at balance. And then I was like, it's kind of like addicting, dude. It's kind of like heroin, you know, like,
oh yeah.
I would go out and I'm like, okay, I'm going to practice for 30 minutes, you know? And then I like fall off. I'm like, okay, I just got to try it one more time. And then I fall off. I'm like, okay, I just got to try it one more time, but this is the last time.
Yeah.
And I would literally do that for like 8 to 9 hours at a time. And then it's like dark outside. I'm like, oh wow, spent like 8 hours out here. And then you go out the next day and like the same thing. It's just it's so addicting to like see yourself progress like that. And then eventually you're getting like called to like these competitions. And then you become a professional, and they're like, oh, and now you're like one of the best, and you're touring the country, and that's my progression of the sport, I guess.
Are you considered like?
Hurt? Oh.
No.
What?
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you ever gotten real hurt doing that shit?
Oh, all the time. Yeah, I used to get like a serious injury. I used to do. It was about like a hospital visit every month. I broke my neck. That was pretty gnarly. What else? I dislocated. Yeah,
he just went on to the next
just
step.
so casually.
He was like, I broke my neck. What the fuck? How do you break your neck?
Yeah, that was nuts, dude. I broke it. It's my C5. They say that if I
normally break
C5,
C4. I'm Middle Eastern, so that's what.
You broke your C4?
Yeah.
But
we
they
break
say if you break your
C4.
C5, you have a big chance of paralyzing yourself because it's so close. Like the higher it is, the more likely you're to paralyze yourself. I broke it in 3 places. Also clogged an artery. It's still clogged.
So you can't eat donuts.
They had to like cut me open, put a bunch of metal in my neck. They said the doctors actually said I'm never allowed to slackline again the rest of my life. So I was like, screw that. Because the reason was if I land on my head, then I could break my neck. Like I have a huge chance of breaking my neck again and like actually paralyzing myself if I land on my head. So I was like, oh, I'll just slackline over water. If I do it over water, then I'm fine, right? And then like once I got over water, then I got invited to this competition. It was they set it up between 2 buildings. It's like 40 feet in the air. And then if you fall like 40 feet into a giant airbag. And so
yeah,
I was like, oh, well, an airbag is pretty much the same as water. Like I can't break my neck over an airbag. And then I started training at the beach over sand. And I'm like, oh, well, sand can't be that much worse than an airbag. And then I started going back over grass again. I'm like, I just won't land on my neck. I'll be fine. And now I just am more careful, I guess.
I just doing 36 flips on a slack line over a wood stage.
Oh, yeah. Over tasers. I wanted it to be tasers, but I was so mad about that, too. We actually bought the tasers, and I was just literally just going to hide it in my shirt and get out there. And, like, it's live TV. Like, the producers don't want to ruin their show, so they're not going to stop me. It's going to make for great television, so I wasn't going to mess up. And then...
Is it live TV?
No, it wasn't live, but, like... I don't know what would have happened. Like maybe they would have like yelled at me, but it would have been like funny for the bit at least. And then if they would have let me do it, then that would have been even sicker because it's like, yo, I totally did this without permission and got away with it. It made my act sick. And then the person, someone's calling me. Shoot.
You good?
Sorry guys.
This guy, he's funny.
It just when someone calls me on my Mac, it takes up the whole screen. But and then. Where was that? I forget. Oh, we were talking about the tasers. And then I forget what I was talking about. Actually, I just started thinking
You're
about
talking about sneaking in tasers and the producers letting
and then I would have snuck in the tasers in and it would have been sick, I guess. But This is what I was gonna say. The person at the front desk of our hotel room sent the tasers to the wrong hotel room. So the Amazon Prime, what it turned out is Amazon Prime actually did ship it in 2 days, but the front desk person like sent it to the wrong room. And so this random like contestant was like, I didn't order tasers, but they just had them in their room for like 2 days because they were like, well, if someone's gonna give me free tasers, I guess I'll keep them.
Like, and what the so fuck? Stupid. Why would they keep them?
I don't know.
How many did you order? Was it a lot?
We ordered it was like 30 of them, I think. And then we were gonna do what you guys
show up to your room, imagine.
Wrap rubber bands around them, and that way.
Yeah, that's what we did. That's what we did.
What do you do?
You got to wrap rubber bands or like
do they stay on?
Yeah, we did. We actually didn't do rubber bands. We did zip ties. You know zip ties?
No, what's a zip tie?
That's funny. We were just gonna use rubber bands, but we totally got that idea from you guys for sure. 100%.
Hey man, you know the thing is it's not even about like it's about reinventing it, you know, and like your shit was gnarly, dude. Your shit, I will say, like yours definitely took way more talent than ours did. We just fucking hucked our bodies onto some shit. Like you were flipping and shit, risking breaking your neck again. Like that I want to say like the most impressive part about your content is your ability to do shit like that while being as funny as you are. You know what I'm saying? Like usually you get one.
I agree with that.
Usually you get one but not the other, you know? And like you have both. So are you really good at like gymnastics now? Did that play any part in your slacklining? Did you like go to a gymnastics place and learn flips, or did you just straight learn it slacklining over grass?
No, I learned it all over grass. I learned how to double backflip on a slackline before I could single backflip on a trampoline.
What the fuck?
Which is funny because when I do a double backflip on a slackline, I take off from my butt. Like if you've seen it, I land on my butt.
Yeah.
Backflip. And so I was doing doubles on a slackline, and then I go to a trampoline. I'm like, how do I take off my feet? It's like on a slackline, you kind of just lean back, and then it throws you. So the timing's different. Where a trampoline, you have to go up first, and then you do the flip. And I would hate going up first. I'm like, like I can't. So I would always just go, and I was always afraid I was just going to land on my head if I threw it on a trampoline. So I'm throwing doubles on a slackline. I'm like, can't even do a single one on a tramp. It's funny.
Can you now or no?
Oh yeah, I can do pretty much everything on a trampoline that I can do on a slackline now. So
God damn.
I've been training ever since I came out to California. I started going to Tempest, and it's like a parkour gym out here, and I've been training some trampoline tricks. I've been training like standing flips, like tumbling, just flips on the ground at Santa Monica Beach and stuff. They have a nice little community that trains that, and I don't know, just fun things when I'm not editing, I guess.
So you obviously edit your own videos, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but
for sure.
Yeah, I put like usually about 20 hours a day into it, which is crazy.
Yeah, I believe that too, because people don't realize how much work actually goes into creating content, and yours is very well storyboarded, I'd say. You have like it flips in between, you know, like the actual content back to like the narration into like some sort of, you know, like it just throws you off. Like you'll put in some loophole into the video that just like, it's like, what the fuck? How did this come up?
You ever seen the show Nathan For You?
Oh, I love that show. Yeah, for sure.
That's what you reminded me of. You reminded me of a higher energy, I guess more physically talented Nathan For You. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, thanks.
So you're like the same, but completely opposite. Is what he's saying.
I'd say probably my two biggest influences are Nathan For You and Eric Andre. I think I like how the whole point is I like how Eric Andre shocks his audience, so you never know what to expect with it, you know. So I feel like that's where a lot of like good humor comes from, is when you're like the audience is thinking one way and then you do something.
Yeah, of course.
Like I didn't even expect that, and then your audience is going to go into it not like expecting the thing that you're going to do, and then to even go on top of that and be like, oh, I thought I was going to expect it, but I still didn't expect it.
Dude,
that's my
dude. You ever seen Shutter Island, the movie?
I've seen bits and pieces of it, never seen the whole thing though.
It's like Shutter Island, Inception, Interstellar. They all have that same shit where like they have this crazy twist at the end, and those are why like those movies are my favorites, because it's like you just don't see it coming, and then when it happens, it's just like holy fuck. You have to rewatch the whole thing from like that new perspective now. And I think that's, you know, the same shit you're talking about, like Eric Andre, Nathan For You, dude. Nathan For You is a fucking genius, dude. That dude is on some crazy shit.
I never watched it, but I'm gonna go watch it after this because of you guys.
Dude, you really should. My favorite Nathan For You episode was the one where he did the fucking the Uber sleeper cell. Remember that shit?
Oh my gosh, that one's nuts, dude. That's kind of similar to what I'm doing now. It's kind of just like, it's like this theoretical thought experiment of how you could just take down this big company. And it's like, theoretically, this could work. So let's just try it in real life and see where we go with it, you know? And
you're gonna catch another lawsuit, dude. You gotta finish this one off first. Shit.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that's like kind of how the two ideas are similar. But
yeah,
dude, that is one of the greatest Nathan for You episodes, I think, for sure.
Dude,
I would say.
You know what did it for me? You know what did it for me, bro? When he had those two motherfuckers drop off phones at a place that he picked up via a scuba diver, dude. Like, I was like, what the fuck am I watching, bro?
Oh yeah, dude. That's the funniest thing about Nathan For You is how far he'll go to make the littlest, teeniest, tiniest point, you know? like, oh, we need this small thing done. Most people would look at it and be like, oh, that's like, if I can't get that small thing done in like with 10 seconds of work, I'll just give up. But Nathan For You's like, no, we're not giving up. We're going to hire a scuba diver. We're going to get this. We're going to do that. Like, we're going to make sure everything happens according to plan. And we'll go to any lengths to make it happen. I have a whole TV show backing me. We have a budget. We'll make it work. No matter what the length is, that's the thing I love about him for sure. I definitely try to incorporate a lot of that in my videos also. Just
so when are you announcing?
I'll do anything to make it happen.
When are you announcing that Reckless Ben?
Because
sorry, go ahead.
At the end of the day, like most people, the reason they don't do it is because it's a lot of hard work, and I don't see it as hard work. I see it as like, yo, it's gonna be a fun experience. First off, to make this thing happen, like we're gonna have fun doing it, so it's something to do. Next, we're gonna make content out of it. So like maybe like getting this small thing done is a whole YouTube video in itself, you know. And I think those two reasons alone are just like why I love that concept or like way to go about creating content.
Yeah.
So when are you announcing your partnership with TBS for your own show?
For real.
I don't know. I don't think TBS will probably ever want to work with me again, which kind of stinks. It's funny too, because this whole thing was actually originally supposed to be an advertisement for the video, if you guys haven't caught on to that by now. So if you watch the videos that all three of them that got deleted, I've specific, like if they were still up, you could rewatch them, and see what I'm talking about.
When did they get deleted? Recently, right? I watched them all 2 weeks ago, I think. I got sent into the loop of all of them.
Yeah, they all got deleted, all three of them, when I was on the show. And I mean, understandably why, I guess. Like, I signed a contract that says I had to get the producer's information, like the producer's like approval before posting anything behind the scenes. So I see why YouTube took them down. Like, their YouTube was in the right for taking them down, I guess. But if you do watch all of the videos, though, it is an advertisement for the show, is at least what I was going for. If you watch my performance, I walk out on the slackline, and then it cuts. So it's like, yo, like I had this whole buildup of what it took for me to get on the show, and then right before the performance, I cut it. So it's like, I wanted the audience to feel like an emptiness in their stomach, you know, where they're like, oh, I want to see what he did. So how do you fill that hole? You go and you buy a TBS subscription, you watch the show. I did that with pretty much all the acts. I never gave away any secrets. All I did was I showed, this is the work it took for me to get here. Now, if you want to, like, you just did like 20 to 30 minutes of work watching my video, you don't want all that to be gone to waste. So what are you going to do to fill that emptiness in your stomach? You're going to watch the show. So that was the whole thinking of it. And the whole time the TV show is talking to us like, hey, let's get ways for you to promote the show. Like let's think of ways, like let's get pictures and stuff out. Like let's see if you can make like videos about it. And all of the contestants are putting out all these content, and they're getting like 100 likes on Instagram, like, and you're putting out 500, 600 views on YouTube. Right. And I'm like, this is never going to get the show the attention it needs. I'm going to like make this crazy thing that like, oh, I'm going to be like, I guess everything is based in reality. Like,
yeah. Well, now they're
alligators.
Yeah. But now they're like fucking you up because you, Because you did something different, even though yours was like harmless, but because they're being parodied, now they're fucking butthurt.
And I've been thinking about it a lot, and I think where the problem comes from is I just don't think TBS realizes that what I'm doing is a parody. I think they're taking every single thing I say seriously, which if you do that, I could see how my videos could be offensive. I'm like, so I feel like, so for example, like there was this one joke I made where I'm like, Bert's like, are you doing what if you're doing in your next run, like what's your performance gonna be? Is it gonna be bigger? And I'm like, if the TV show lets me do what I want, it's gonna be huge. And Bert's like, well, you heard it. I'm one of the executive producers. Looks like you're doing it. But like, obviously he has to say that for the show because he doesn't want to be like, oh, you can't do your idea, bet. You know, like obviously he has to say that. I pitch him the idea. The idea is ridiculous and like, I guess, unsafe. So the TV show, of course, says no. Like the TV show's in the right, I'm in the wrong, and I know that. But the way I frame it in the video, I'm like, you broke our pact, Bert. Like we made a pact together, and so I'm gonna buy the taters anyways because I don't break pacts and stuff. And like, it's like obviously we didn't make a pact. Like you said it because you had to for TV, and I understand that. Like if you take it seriously, I could see how you could think I'm actually mad and want to go to war with TBS. But it's a parody. I'm trying to be funny and make a big scene so people will watch my videos. So then people go and watch the TV show. That's the whole reason I'm doing this. And then TBS is like, and then it was working. People were like, oh, I want to watch the TV show now. Like I never watched anything on TBS, but this is the one time I watched the Go Big Show. I'm like, yes, my plan's working. And TBS calls me like, you have to take the videos down or we'll sue you.
Bro, you want to be honest?
I don't get it.
I've never heard of them before you. I never heard of the Go Big Show. I fucking have never watched anything on TBS, and I literally looked that shit up because of you. So,
dude,
it's a generational difference. They don't understand too that you're tapping into what everyone who watches stuff now is using as a medium to watch entertainment. Like you are creating that, and they don't get that.
Yeah, I know. I think it's just different industries, dude. Like TV shows just don't have the same sense of humor that YouTube has.
They also hate YouTubers.
Anyone that frequents YouTube will know that I'm joking and that you can't take anything I say seriously. They know what's serious. Like they know that everything I was doing was serious, but the way that I'm saying it, I'm not mad at anyone. Like it's all a joke. And then the TV producers are like, this guy is talking bad. He's saying bad things about us. Little do they know it's sarcastic. But they take it seriously and they're like, oh, we have to silence Ben now, you know? And I
think that there's a lot of politics that take place in TV world that don't take place in the YouTube world. And I think that they just don't like being the butt of the joke in any sort of light because they probably have like shareholders and people that really don't get the joke. Like I'm sure maybe the producers get the joke, but like the people that pay their bills, they don't get the jokes. You know what I'm saying? And they'd watch your shit and they'd be like, he's making fun of us, and then they'd get, you know. But I will say this:
I think you're right.
You did an excellent job. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying when the first two videos came out, the producers were texting me like, "Dude, your videos are so funny! Like, I'm so excited for the next ones to come out. Like you did a good job on the video. I never laughed so hard in my life. They loved it." And then, yeah, you're probably right. Like they probably got a call from some of their investors like, hey,
what the fuck?
Like we can't invest if one of the, if there's a contestant that's saying bad things about your show, we can't have that or else there might not be a season 2, you know? And I don't know. So
it's crazy how easy it is to just threaten people like that.
You did an excellent job of creating that void though, I will say, because I watched the first Arab's one that showed me your shit a few weeks back, and I watched one of the 3 that you made, and then I was like, dude, this is good shit. So I stream just chatting sometimes, like at night, like I just like watch videos in my chat, and I watched your videos, and I watched the first one, and I think it was either the second or the third one where you actually were gonna do the act, like where you were like on stage about to do it, and like we were all like, we made it through the first one, we made it through the second one, or however long it took us to get to the main act, and then you didn't fucking do it, and then my chat's like, what the fuck? he just skipped over the act. And I'm like, oh my God, I'd never watched this. I didn't know he didn't actually show the act. And then we're all just so confused as to why he didn't show it, but that's exactly why. It was like, well, fuck, now if I want to watch what he fucking did, I have to look it up or subscribe or some shit. So you did a great job. Like if that was your purpose, you did an excellent job.
That was the thinking in it. Otherwise, like, why would I have not shown the act? Like,
yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Bro, you know what you do a good job at, which gets me every time, and I know it's gonna happen. The way you end your videos is you go, and it just cuts. And there's no like, it's not like fucking Prison Break where you're like, you know, there's some sort of fucking drop and you're like, fuck, I gotta watch the next one. It's like, fuck, the next one is literally a continuation of this. Like, I have to watch. Like, he didn't even finish his sentence. Like, I gotta go see what his next sentence is in the next video.
The reason I did that, I mean, I guess that is a positive outcome that I've been getting with doing that. But the reason I actually did that was nothing annoys me more than at the end of YouTube videos when people are like, okay, guys, like and subscribe. Here's the next video if you liked the last one. And here's the next video. If you enjoyed this, click the next video. It's the most annoying thing in the world. So I'm like, what is the exact opposite of that if I just cut myself off mid-sentence? That's the most opposite thing I can do from doing that.
It's fucking genius, bro.
And I think my new genre now is going to be, I set up if I'm able to, like, the beginning of my video, I'll have some type of task, some mission that I want to do in the video. I go and the whole video will be me completing the mission. If I'm able to complete it, confetti cannon goes off and like save the day. If not, then I haven't not completed a mission yet. So I guess we'll see when it comes. But
do you storyboard it beforehand? How does your writing process work for each video?
Oh, I don't know. I kind of just improvise everything.
You just put up footage in order and then whatever you like, you put in?
Yeah. The way I've been doing it is I've been, I don't know if these are secrets I'm allowed to expose, but I'm going to do it anyways.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
I've been creating like 2 hours raw footage of just like all the footage, basically just cut out the boring parts where nothing's happening. But anytime something's happening, even if it's not important to the storyline, I keep it in because then I like lock myself in my closet or whatever. Sometimes it's like 4 or 5 in the morning. I'll get like really high and then I'll just have my microphone and I just commentate it live. So I put it on mute. I just kind of explain my story. I'm like, okay, so this is happening and this is happening. And then a lot of times the funniest moments are parts that I normally would have like taken out. But like something will happen and I'm like, and I just, my commentation like matches with the like funny thing that's happening.
That's such a good idea.
Bro, this motherfucker is hotboxing his closet so he can.
Yeah. And then I basically just have the audio matched with the visual. And then I'm like, okay, so this part in the visual, I like the audio and then I'll mute like my audio and I just kind of go. Like match up as good as you can, and that's the video.
And that 2 hours of footage will make one video?
Yeah, it'll make like a 4-minute video probably. And so like 99.9% of it like sucks, but like every once in a while there'll be like a funny part. Like maybe there's like a frisbee that comes out. I'm like, oh, a frisbee. Like it's just like something like I'm like, because I usually try not to watch the footage before I do it that way. Like it catches me by surprise too. So that way I give like my authentic reaction.
Fuck, that's genius. I don't even think you broke any secrets because I think everyone else is gonna be too lazy to do that. So because that's actual hard work.
I got that idea from what's it called? I was watching
Iraq.
There was this Netflix show. It was one of Joe Rogan's friends made it. It's like they basically animated their podcasts. So it's called like The Night something. He's like an alien. And then he goes, so like it's all these real life podcasts where they animate it. So this alien goes to like these other worlds, like interviews these other aliens. That's like their podcast is supposed to be like, they always talk about like psychedelics and stuff. It's like a psychedelic show. Right. I was like, no, it's kind of cool how they just it's just like rambling and like nonsense how it sounds because it's a real life conversation that's happening in like this animated world. So I think it's like funny, like having this like, because I'm just having a real life conversation with myself, and then you put it in like this like little like fast paced thing where all these craziness is happening, and like the complete irony of both worlds colliding, I think is really funny.
You know, that's the definition of comedy, when two things that aren't ordinarily put together are put together. That's literally like the definition of comedy.
Well,
that makes sense.
Like, Never mind,
No,
I'm not
well,
gonna
the
say
new
that joke.
Well, dude, listen. So my question to you is, okay, like let's assume you don't get sued, right? And you're fine. You can, I'm assuming you're gonna keep creating. What
I
do you
got
see?
I got some sick loopholes if
What
TBS come back. This is just the beginning. The latest video is just the beginning.
What do you see yourself as far as like content outside of like the CBS situation? Like, because you said you did a lot of stuff beforehand. Like, are you just gonna go the Nathan For You route where you try to like you do like these little like social experiments, like but you go like the extra mile like he does, or like
So
where do you see your content going basically?
I've been thinking about it. I have like 3 or 4 directions, and I'm gonna kind of experiment and see which way like people like the most, and then just kind of stick with that. One thing I was thinking about doing was back when I like first was like, okay, I want to start YouTube. I have no clue what to do. I'm just gonna like come up with something fun. I was like, if you think like a lot of comedians and stuff, they say they come up with ideas from things that piss them off. So I was like, what pisses me off? And I was like, art that sells for like $80 million and it's a dot on a canvas.
The white canvas that sold for literally $80 million.
Yeah. I'm like, that pisses me off. So how do you go around that? So I painted my own ugly painting, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to see if I can do whatever these artists did and sell it for like a lot of money. So I made this whole YouTube series. It was the first thing that I ever filmed, and it sucks. I mean, okay, it does. The content is good, but the way that like I edited it, the way that I went about it, I think I could have done it a lot better. If I was the editor I was today, it could have been a much better series. But it was basically 7 parts. I think it's probably one of the craziest things I've done so far. We basically took this painting. I'll give you the short 10-second synopsis of it, but I think I could continue this on. It's like the whole legacy of like, will I ever be able to sell this ugly painting for a lot of money? And so far, like we've created a ton of content out of it, but this is what we did. We're like, okay, let's get this painting famous by hanging it up in a museum. No museum was going to want to hang it up, so we illegally hung it up ourselves. The art museum took it down, sent it to the police station because what we did was illegal. And then we're like, oh, we need the painting back. So I created a viral news story that Banksy was actually the one that hung it up. And so I faked a bunch of like DMs with Banksy, did all these like trickery things. It fooled all the news stations. So they did this like viral story that Banksy put it up. Then so the art museum took it back from the police station, put it in there. And I was like, okay, now we have to like steal this painting that the art museum genuinely believes is a Banksy painting. So we created like a fake eBay auction, like called them, like pretended to be Banksy. We faked a bunch of stuff, and we actually legit stole this painting from a museum of what they thought was a Banksy. So then to further the story, we that's actually when we ended up moving out to California, was to try and sell the painting. And because before I lived in Ohio, that was my first step of moving out to California, was to try and sell this. And then I liked it in California, so I just stayed out here. But and then we kind of like took it to this art museum, and they hung it up for real because they actually thought it was a Banksy because they saw it, we stole it. And then like word kept going and going. It actually made it all the way up to Banksy. But before that, this CEO circle of like all these big CEOs, like one of the CEOs that like the CEO from Beyond Meat, Kind Bar, Acai Berry, like all these like billionaires, like this billionaire circle saw it, and they're like, oh, we need to invite these guys to this music festival so we can promote it. The painting is a picture of a banana. That's all it is. It's just a banana because we're like, that's stupid. And then it ended up inspiring the duct tape banana that was on the wall. That was actually me. And
really?
And yeah, and then
whoa.
I was gonna bring that up. I was gonna bring that up actually.
And then that's actually what got us into Scientology. So the reason I got as high as I did in Scientology within like 2 weeks of being in Scientology, because most people take some years, is because this whole like legacy of the banana painting, they think that I stole it, and they were like, I told them like, if you guys help me sell this painting, I'll give you guys all of the profit or something. Like Scientology's like, oh, money, and like, oh, here's the bank, like here's all these news articles to verify it, and they don't even believe anything that's on the internet anyways. And then I got all that footage, so it helped me do all that. So I feel like the banana painting has helped me with all of my content up until this point, so we could just continue doing that. But I don't know. That's like the short story. It's like this huge like series that we did, but that's like the 2-minute synopsis of it, I guess.
Yeah, that wasn't 10 seconds. I'm kind of pissed, but it's whatever.
How the fuck did you go from banana painting to Scientology? That's wild.
Well, in the like what happened was we basically like we kind of got exposed. Like it made it all the way up to Banksy, and Banksy was like, "Yeah, this isn't like real." So we're like, "Dang!" Like because we kept so like first we like infiltrated this like huge art CEO circle with like these billionaires, and then they found out that it was fake. So we went to these YouTubers, and then they all found out it was fake, and then they like called us out on it, and then we're like, dude, we just need someone like some group of people that still has a lot of money but just doesn't believe anything they read on the internet. Scientology, you know, like they're the best people to go after, and it worked.
Hey,
and then
so how much
well,
did
we
they sell it for? Oh, you
us.
didn't. Okay.
No, we haven't sold it yet. I've gotten an offer from David Arquette for 10,000, and we got one more offer from another person for 10,000. But I think we can go higher.
Did you? So you mentioned like news articles and stuff, and that's something that a lot of people don't understand as far as like PR manipulation.
It's hard.
So I don't know if you
Very
like if you've watched like how much Jigsaw you've watched in the past, but like we did this thing with a megalodon fin. Did you see that at all?
What's that? I don't think I've seen
The
that.
shark.
So a megalodon is a prehistoric shark that's fucking massive, dude. Like like the biggest motherfucker you could ever imagine, right? And my buddies, they're really into hunting for meg teeth. Like they like dig and shit. They whatever. So on the channel, there's like a bit of a megalodon undertones already. Like people already know what the fuck it is and whatnot. So what we did was we built the biggest fucking fin you can imagine out of wood, and we like the fin was attached to this this thing that would hold a scuba tank, and we fucking filmed each other out in the water far as fuck away, dude. But even though it was far as fuck away, it was still huge. We filmed each other from like different phones, different angles, different like people voices in the background, and we filmed so many of them. And then me and fucking Jack, we had like 50 emails, like 50 emails each, where we would like just email it to fucking news station after news station after news station after news station, like all over the fucking country. And then eventually, it got caught on, like people like saw it or whatever. And it got on Facebook, like millions of views, on the news, millions of views. People were freaking out because, dude, it was so fucking funny because the thing about the scuba tank and that was so cool about it was the scuba tank wasn't even for the person underwater to breathe. It was for the fin to go up and down. Like the fin would literally go up and down. Yeah. And so anyway, so it got like caught up by the news, this and that. And then they found out it was fake. And then they did a bunch of articles about it being a hoax and shit. And but my point with bringing it up is that a lot of people that watch YouTube, that watch the kind of content that you make, that we've made, they don't understand that these news articles, they don't find us. You have to provoke them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's so hard.
Yeah, that's how PR is, bro. That's how it is.
Like it took me, I think, 4 months before the art museum took the painting back from the police station. Like it was at the police station for about 4 to 5 months before the story caught on. Like I was just trying different things for like, I mean, I wasn't like, it was kind of one of those background things. I would spend like 10 minutes a day of like, oh, how can I trick this news station? Think about it for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And like try a new strategy, wouldn't work, move on to the next. And like finally what ended up working was like faking these DMs with Banksy. I did this whole thing, like created a fake phone number for myself, took like Banksy's little like head thing, made a whole fake Instagram where it looked like I was actually messaging Banksy, but it wasn't. And then like I had it play on a video on my phone where it's just a video playing, and I would like hover my thumb. I like timed it perfectly so it looked like I was scrolling through the messages, but really it's just a video playing. Like it was elaborate, but like it took that to fool the news stations. Like nothing else I did for the other 4 months got a single story. And it was like, and then once one news station does a story on it, like it just blows up, and like everyone's like, oh, now I gotta do a story, now I gotta do a story, now I gotta do a story. But getting that first news story, it was so hard for us. Like anyone that can get some type of crazy viral fake news story, like it's hard, dude.
Bro, you're fucking
news stations they don't want to cancel themselves, they don't want to, like news stations
wrong,
don't want
right.
to, they don't want to be wrong.
You know what's funny about that though? I feel like there's like, so in my experience with this in the past, because the Megalodon one wasn't the first time we've reached out to the news stations for other things, right? And so we've done this in the past before. But one thing I think we've come to realize is that there's like lulls in like news where there's like nothing to talk about, and that's when they're willing to hear you out, right? Like when there's like a bunch of shit happening or whatever, it's not really a good time to send in like something that may not catch their attention. But like when there's like nothing happening and nothing interesting like to like write news about, you send them something like that, they're like, oh fuck, oh my god, my job just got easier for the day, and then they just write an article on some shit. But yeah, anyways,
You guys are very similar.
Man, I gotta check that out, dude. That sounds crazy. I can't believe I haven't seen that. That's insane.
do you have a Twitter? Do you have a Twitter?
Doesn't.
I don't have a Twitter. I hate Twitter. I think it's the most useless social media.
Whoa. Let me tell you this, man. The reason I like Twitter is because Instagram, they say like, a picture can tell, contains 1,000 words or whatever. But the reason people follow you on Instagram is because they see you, they see your life, they see this and whatnot. The reason they follow you on Twitter is because they actually like the way you think. And when you put it into that perspective, I think that the audience on Twitter is actually more invested in you as a person than the audience on Instagram, probably.
You think? I don't like Instagram either.
I think the quote
I just like
is
YouTube.
the quote is a picture's worth 1,000 words, a tweet is worth 280 characters.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I just followed you on Instagram.
Nice.
It doesn't look like you use it, do you?
I know. There's no reason for me to like. What am I gonna do? Brag about? Like I hate like bragging about myself. Like it's so stupid. Like oh look at this cool thing I did today. Look like and give me likes so I can feel better about myself. I think it's so stupid.
Right.
Dude, but life's all about perspective and shit. But I feel like the different perspective you can take is that by doing the cool things you do, you inspire people to go outside. You know what I'm saying?
I guess you're right, but that's what YouTube's for.
Yeah. There you go.
True.
Yeah. My thing about that is like it's about putting. It's like I tweeted the other day like a piece of advice for people. The reason people aren't like Twitch streamers, for example, they're tweeting out their streams every day. There's no different form of content, right? So the reason you have all these different social medias is to put unique content on each. So like, you mix them so that they grow each other, but you don't. Like I see a lot of people that'll post the same thing on Instagram that they post on Twitter, and it's the exact same thing, and then it's always like just shitty links or whatever. If you create it where you're creating content on these 4 different platforms, right? My YouTube content is different than my Twitch. My Twitch content is different than my Twitter, and my Instagram, Twitter doesn't even get to see it, like, so it's like these different forms of content where people, whatever they choose to pick, they can go look at, whether they want to look at all 4 of them, whether they want to look at the short bits, whether they want to look at the long live streams where you can talk to them. It's like a completely different form of
It's a way to think about it, actually.
Yeah,
that's cool. I don't know.
But I agree with you. No, you're right. It is. Instagram is very like vain.
Yeah.
I used to do it. I used to be into this sport called rooftopping. When I broke my neck, I couldn't slackline anymore. I was like, I'm just gonna see what type of skyscrapers I can climb illegally, and then like do like I was really big in like calisthenics and stuff. So I would do like 1-arm pull-ups underneath like cranes and stuff. I was that guy.
Yeah.
And
Whoa,
so
Jesus.
I did like Instagram when I was doing that, because then Instagram became part of the sport I was doing. It was like I gotta climb this like crazy building, and so like first you have to think, how am I gonna sneak past security? That's like, so we would come up with these elaborate plans of how we're gonna get past security. Like maybe we have a distraction, maybe we like do research on the building, say like we're with so and so LLC, we're like here to fax some papers to someone, who knows. Then you gotta like find out how to get to the roof, how to pick the lock. That's getting like really into lock picking, so there's like some skill in that.
Is there no fear
of getting arrested? What?
Is there no fear of getting arrested?
I've never been in legal trouble, but I'm like safe when I do stuff. Like I think about things like very thoroughly before I do anything. Like I'll always do research on like before I do anything like sketchy like that. Like I've never been in legal trouble in my life.
Like if you were to do that, to break in, pick the lock, at that point you could be considered like a robber. Right?
Yeah, you go to jail for sure. It's bad.
Yeah,
I've had a lot of friends.
Just tell them it was unlocked.
I've had a lot of friends go to jail, and
for how long?
I don't know. I think one of them's been there for like maybe 2 weeks was like the longest one. Maybe
so
like
it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not nothing crazy. Okay.
No, but like one of my friends got 2 felonies for climbing this bridge. Because they had to stop traffic because they thought that they were going to commit suicide, or
that's
they thought
crazy.
they were like a terrorist or something.
Edwin's got a bridge story too, bro.
And yeah, it's nuts.
Several.
Dude. Some of my friends have been in like huge legal trouble.
So you were saying you
not
picked the
really
lock,
kind. Yeah.
right? You picked the lock, and then what's the next step after that? So I
Then
cut
gotta
you
go
off
to
because
the
I was
top with some
curious.
Crazy calisthenics move for the awesome picture, and the picture is like the reward, you know. So at that
The
point,
picture's the claim, dude. It's the
like
claim, you know.
yeah, it's like, well, that's the part of it too. Is like because then you get into photography. I got really into Lightroom and like editing pictures and
Yeah.
stuff. So that's part of it still too. Is like because you have to make the picture look good. So like how do you like it's all the story of like how'd you get your picture. I had to sneak into security, learn how to pick the locks, get to the roof. I had to train pull-ups and stuff. I had to train all these calisthenic things. That way I was comfortable with doing it because like I don't want to die or I don't want to be afraid that I'm going to die. So I want to like when I'm hanging on by one hand, I don't want to be like afraid like, oh, if I slip, I can fall and die. No, I want to be like, I know I'm not going to slip because I'm strong enough because I do this every day type of thing. And
That's great because like each picture is a whole story that you could go on about for fucking forever.
Yeah, and then when I stopped rooftoping, that's kind of when I stopped Instagram because it was like anything else after that was just like anticlimactic to me.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, am I going to post a picture of me doing something that's like, I don't know. I was just used to like, like every picture had this crazy story behind it. Now it's like, oh, you want me to post a picture of me like sitting on my, like, I don't know, like doing a backflip or something? That's lame.
Do you enjoy social engineering?
I think it's fun. I don't know. I actually used to be an engineer, so any engineering at all.
Oh, what kind?
Mechanical. I went to graduated college, mechanical engineer.
Do you think college is a waste?
Mechanical engineer for 2 years. What?
Do you think it's a waste? Waste of time.
It wasn't a waste. I definitely learned a lot, like how to think and how to solve problems for sure. The reason I didn't like it was very repetitive and it didn't push me of how YouTube's pushing me right now, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like right now, my genre on YouTube is literally, I have a problem. Now let's do anything to figure out how to solve it. And I'm my boss. So if I want to do this, go about it the stupidest way I can. Where in engineering, I have a boss. I'm like, okay, you have like this problem and it's like, okay, here's how to fix it. And they're like, they tell you how to fix it. And they're like, this is how you fix it. And now go and do it. And
it's boring. Like, you don't figure it out, right?
You're like, right. And now it's like I think that's the main thing. It's like now I just have creative control to figure out how to solve my problem, and yeah.
Bro, you are fucking. You've done so much. When did you break your neck to then go into fucking rooftopping?
Oh, that was like. That was 2018, I think. So.
Oh shit! Very recent.
Probably like 3 years ago. Yeah, it was funny because like in all the pictures, I'm like I have like a neck brace on, or I'm like hanging from this like crazy thing, and I have like my neck brace on. It's kind of funny. Everyone's like, you shouldn't be doing that with a broken neck, and I'm like, if I fall, I die anyways. Like a broken neck is literally gonna mean nothing.
Now that you're building this like massive YouTube career, do you ever think to yourself like, yo, maybe I should stop slacklining over hard surfaces to not break my neck because there's so much more that I could do? Because like I tell Edwin all the time, like I have a very fine, I'm willing to go to very far lengths for comedy, right? Like just for the bit. But like he asked me, would you go motorcycling with me? And I said no. Like I'm okay with dying, but I'm not gonna speed up that process because I want to fucking, like I want to do. There's a lot I want to do. Right? Like I'm not going to go fucking motorcycle and then, potentially get hit whatever for that one fucking few minutes of enjoyment. So like, do you ever get to a point where you're like, okay, like I'm building something big. I have so much potential. It's starting to echo again, I think.
Let's turn my volume down. But no, I do think about that a lot. Yeah, it's like one of the hardest questions because dude, I love slacklining, dude. Like I said, it's like heroin. Like try and tell a heroin addict, like, yo, like if you do heroin, you're gonna speed up the process of dying. Like heroin addict's not gonna care,
Right.
Like I don't know. I have been trying to slow down on it a little bit. Like I do. So now my schedule looks like I do YouTube 6 days a week, and then sometimes it's like 6.5 days. Then on Sunday I spend a half a day slacklining. And I definitely like my rule now is I only do doubles if I'm over water, so no double flips over sand or grass or anything anymore, which sucks. It's lame. So I can only practice doubles in the summer when it's warm. But I mean, I have like certain rules for myself of like how I can like not land on my head and stuff. Most of the injuries I think are actually I'm more at risk to my arm, because if you mess up like a little bit, the line just comes up, and that's 3,000 pounds of force, like knocking your arm, your arm will just dislocate, and that happens all the time. So I'm actually more scared about my arm than my neck anytime that I'm slacklining. But yeah, that's one of the toughest questions ever, dude. Is what you just asked. It's really hard.
Dude, I have this thing that I live by, and I think it just like kind of it's like a coping mechanism for allowing myself or justifying the stupid things that I have done and or do, which is that I really, really, really believe that everyone has a purpose in life, and it could be the smallest purpose, bro. Your entire purpose could be bumping somebody and altering their trajectory on where they go in their day, right? And that changes life in general for everyone and humanity, whatever, right? I think everyone has a purpose. I don't think you're allowed to leave without fulfilling that purpose. So whenever I'm about to do something stupid, I'm like, dude, I'll be fine.
Yeah,
you know
but like to that analogy, bro, it's like when you're fucking jerking off and you're trying to elongate it, like you're gonna eventually fucking, you know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
dude, because no, because
like
because then I nut and then I got that 3-minute cooldown for another nut. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to elongate shit, man.
Bro. Like, what are you talking about?
The 3-minute cooldown, baby.
I'm just saying, like, that fucking analogy is like, bro, you could have like elongate your life to, you know, you're gonna die eventually with your purpose being served, so why not have as much fun in between that purpose, you know?
I'm just saying I don't think you're allowed to leave without fulfilling your purpose, and I'm just assuming I haven't fulfilled mine, and I'm not saying the assumption is always gonna go that way, because I could assume I haven't fulfilled it and I already have, and then I fucking die, you know?
True.
I'm just saying it's a coping justification method of mine to allow myself to mentally do the things that I have done. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a way to justify some shit, you know?
Right.
And that's all it is, really.
Dang, dude, that's crazy. Dang. So I think, sorry, someone just came in. I just moved in this room so it's quieter. But oh, now I'm super backlit. That sucks. Maybe I can just.
That's good. That's good. You're good right there.
Sorry, it was really loud. They had a bunch of they were carrying a bunch of things.
We didn't even hear it. The input cut it off.
Dang. But so I don't know. I think that is a tough question. I don't know. For me, it's like it's always everything I do is risk versus reward. So it's like, what's the risk in this? What's the reward? Like, obviously there's risk. How do I minimize the risk and maximize the reward with everything? And with slacklining in particular, I feel like I've done the best I can. Like my no double flips over ground. I mean, yeah, it would suck if I broke my neck and it would be the worst thing in the world. But at the end of the day, if what you're saying is true, would you never drive a car again? Like,
no, it's different. Motorcycle versus car is different. I'm just saying, like,
yeah,
like motorcycle, you get hit, you're done. Like car, you know, I've been in an accident, I didn't even feel it. You know, like.
No, but there's still every 5 minutes someone dies in a car wreck.
Yeah,
for sure. I totally get that. On. Totally, for sure.
No, you gotta send it, man. Listen, you haven't lived life till you pull up a 12 o'clock wheelie on a motorcycle, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but with life without risk would suck, because then you're not doing anything and then you're having no fun. So it's it's all about how can I minimize the risk, but there's always going to be risk there. So it's like, okay, you acknowledge the risk is there. Let's minimize it, and then if we've calculated that the risk is worth it in this situation, we go about and do it. So that's what I do. Like what every single person does when we drive a car every day. It's like, okay, we understand there's a risk here. But we all went to driving school. We have laws that hopefully make the cars not hit each other if we all follow the rules. We don't drive when we're intoxicated because.
Wait, you don't?
What's the risk?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Do you know who you remind me a lot of, bro? You remind me of fucking Travis Pastrana. That's who you remind me of. Do you know who that is?
Travis Pastrana, the Nitro Circus guy?
Yeah. Dude, like you
nice.
kind of look like him, and like that whole risk reward speech you just gave us is something that I swear to God he's probably said verbatim. That's hilarious.
Well, that's why I'm not dead right now, and that's why I've never been into legal trouble, like I said, because I like literally with everything, even with this TBS thing right now, like you calculate the risk versus reward, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to come out of this TBS thing fine.
Question: They take your videos down, right? Does that give you a strike?
Yeah, I got 3 strikes actually.
How are you still alive?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll figure it out. And
no, how's your channel still up?
I don't know. So I was looking into it yesterday. Actually, I think I'm gonna post that'll be my next YouTube video. I think what I figured out, the YouTube. I was talking to Emily on the helpline, and Emily, me and her got at it yesterday. We kind of got in a little argument because she was feeding me lies,
like in the chat, the YouTube chat.
Yeah, she was the YouTube chat bot person, and
it got freaky.
Yeah, she was giving me some like straight up lies. Dude, she said that I don't want to give any spoilers of the video away. Like I'll probably post it either tomorrow or Monday. But
well, this won't be out till Monday.
Yeah, but she was telling me stuff. She's like, because I asked her like, "Yo, am I like shadow banned now?" Because my last video like kind of flopped. Now that I have a strike, and she's like, "Oh, YouTube doesn't shadow ban anyone."
Oh, yeah.
And then I looked it up, and I'm like, I looked it up, and it says YouTube does shadow ban people. And Emily's like, "Oh, well, you can only trust it if it says that by Google." I'm like, "I did Google it, Emily. Like, what are you talking about?" And yeah, we got in a little fight. But I think at the end of the day, it turns out since all 3 strikes were submitted by
one person,
once, it's like
strike,
I did one thing bad over. That was like the one thing bad I did.
Thank God
I made
like
3
that.
videos about
Thank God
one
it's
bad
like
thing.
that, right?
So I think it might only count as 1 strike, even though I have 3 strikes on the channel. I always heard if you have 3 strikes, your YouTube channel gets taken down. I don't know how it's working.
You don't care if it gets taken down? You're like, whatever?
I mean, I do care, but I don't like worrying about things that I can't. Like, I've done everything I can do at this point, you know? Right. So at this point,
you've calculated the risk, my friend.
Well, would you not?
You've done what you can.
Would you not fight it in court that they're strikes?
So I've postponed it as much as I can. So after 7 days, today's actually the 7th day today. So if I did nothing about it, my channel could get taken down today. Right. But I like argued it or whatever. So it like we'll postpone it until the argument gets settled.
28
we'll see
days
what
or
happens,
some shit. Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, we're just in a waiting. I've literally done as much as I can do, and I don't know. Like I guess most people, you're right. They probably would be like freaking out right now and stressing out like crazy. But like I've saved all my videos, so I won't lose anything if my channel gets. I mean, I'll lose all the views, which sucks. But at the end of the day, like I don't like worrying about things that.
And that's the power, by the way, of having the other socials, like Twitter, etc. Yeah. No, I'm not here to like push you to do it. I'm just explaining like when you do get shut down, it's much less worry free. Like I got suspended the other day. Like if I only had I got suspended on Twitter, and if I only had Twitter, like I would have been fucked, you know. But I had all the other ones where I was able to like communicate to people and, you know, like let them know, yo, I'll be back.
Nice.
So,
well, I think it'll be fine. At the end of the day, I think it will come down to like I did one bad thing that was spread over 3 videos, so I don't think I should get 3 strikes for it, if that makes sense. So I think I'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
It was one incident, is what they would say.
Yeah, one incident.
Yeah.
And so even like them giving me 3 strikes for that's ridiculous. So I think I'm in the clear. I think.
Did that limit your uploadability? Because when we got
I uploaded, dude. Yeah,
really?
I uploaded yesterday.
Dude, we got a fucking community guideline strike on the Joke Squad channel not too long ago, and it made it so we can't stream for fucking 6 months, and we couldn't upload for like 7 days.
Well, is it? Did you get community guideline strike, or did you get like a privacy notice?
Copyright strike.
Oh, that's different. That's different.
No, but they affect your channel differently.
Yeah, way different. Yeah, copyright strike gets your content removed, and if you're a repeat offender of a copyright strike, and that's why you didn't get 3 community guideline strikes, you got 3 copyright strikes, which just means that your content is being removed from the website due to a third party requesting it. But if you get 3 community guideline strikes, you'll for sure get deleted, for sure. Community guideline strikes are way different.
It says that I'm subject to YouTube channel termination from 3 copyright strikes. But I don't know.
I would believe that. It's like what you said. It's like what you said. It's 3 from 1.
It says subject to termination. So like, does that mean I'm terminated, or am I just subject?
So the way the websites typically work is if if they deem you a repeat offender, where like you do it often, like okay, you got 3, but like if you get to like 10, 15 times you've done it where you've pissed off too many people, like you'll for sure get terminated. But it's like on Twitter, I get a DMCA strike every once in a while for a tweet that had music in it that shouldn't have had that music in it or whatever. Like the copyright holder like has requested it for it to get taken down, and they'll just delete them or whatever. And it says like if you are a repeat offender, we're gonna delete your entire account. But it's done to me like 6 times. That's a huge relief,
dude. Wow.
Yeah.
That's so sick then. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
That makes you feel way better.
I would still be careful, obviously, but like yeah, I think it'll be good.
Yeah, what you should do now is re-upload those videos that they took down.
I don't know. I feel like if I did that, that'll just piss them off.
I'm just fucking with you. For sure.
Every time I've made a video about TBS, it's always been because they've called me. They're like, I was like done with the series. Then TBS is like, they called me and they're like, yo, take the videos down. And I'm like, and that pissed me off because I'm like, yo, I just did all this work to advertise for you guys' show. I'm doing one of the best advertisements out of all the contestants, I think.
The best.
And so I'm like, okay, I have to respond to them. So then I'm like, okay, now I'm done with TBS. Then they respond again. They're like, the videos still aren't taken down. I'm like, gosh, I guess I have to respond again. And then now they're like, oh, well, we can sue you for $5 million. So I'm like, no, you can't, because I'll sue you for $5,000,001. So all I'm doing is just responding to them. But these videos are. Is
there any like fear in doing the billboard, like manipulating the billboard?
No, the billboard actually just got changed, I think 2 or 3 days ago. So I'm in the clear now. But we put it on with tape, like. The guy,
that could be easier move.
Like when you guys did were you there with the holy boob thing on the Hollywood sign?
Oh, it's funny. I was supposed to be there, but I didn't go.
I think we were moving in. So, why are we?
Yeah.
For that, they only got charged with trespassing, right?
Yeah. Nothing bad happened. It was just trespassing.
So like because yeah, you like littered that thing, but at the end of the day, like you can just go back and take it. And, like,
it's not. It wasn't considered like vandalism because none of the original. Right. Yeah, none of the original structure was damaged in any capacity. But like, that was definitely like, I would say like on the higher end of the trespassing spectrum, right? But no, they were fine. They got arrested.
Ours was just, we climbed the billboard. I guess the hotel that we got on the roof of, like they could, but like even then, like one of the like people, like the workers of the hotel came out and was like, you guys are gonna get me in trouble. Like get down from there or something like I'm gonna get in trouble because you guys or something was like kind of like joking about it, like,
right.
And so we're like, okay, obviously the hotel doesn't care that much. And we made sure to put it on with tape. So like we didn't glue it or anything, like nothing that could have left any damage on the billboards.
Sure. Do you know somebody named Ross Creations?
Yeah, dude. I actually went down to Florida and hung out with them for like a couple of days back when I was like first, like,
dude,
like before
if you're ever in town, bro, hit us up. We'll go do some hot boy shit for real. Like we're in the same area. We hang out with Ross pretty often. He comes to the parties we throw. He like comes and kicks it all the time whenever he's in the area. But the reason I bring him up,
I'm actually throwing a party next this Sunday. If you guys are ever in LA, I actually want to start doing this. So one of my friends is in real estate, and his job is he purchases full abandoned houses. They demolish them. That way a new house.
Was that on your Instagram story today?
Yeah. And so we're throwing this.
I wasn't sure if that was a joke or not.
No, we're going to throw a party in this. The house is being demolished on Monday. So we're going to throw a party on Sunday. And we literally, like he said, we can do whatever we want in the house because it's literally being demolished.
That is so sick, I want to start
doing that.
Oh my God. I want you to be very careful inviting me to things like that.
Like if we want, we could get a sledgehammer the floor from the first floor to the second floor, then like the second floor to the first floor, then make a slip and slide through the hole that we make. Maybe
bro,
like
this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. I can tell because we speak exactly like each other. Ask Arab, please. Dude, like
Edwin says that shit all the time, bro.
But this is just the first one. So we're just gonna test it out, see if people like it, see if it's even like a thing, like maybe everyone gets hurt and it's like, oh, this is a bad idea. Like we'll find out on Sunday. Like we have no clue what to expect.
We'll definitely be flying to the second one.
No, yeah, me reserve a spot for me and Arab on the second one.
We're always in to do like day trips, 2-day trips, whatever, to wherever. So like,
yeah.
But yeah,
like anything vloggable, we're always down for.
He buys about 3 to 4 abandoned houses per month that he demolished. Like he demolishes like 4 houses a month about. So we could theoretically do one of these every single weekend, like for the rest of our lives, if we wanted to.
Yes, dude. That's so sick.
And this one's a little bit of a smaller house, just because COVID's happening. Like we're only just inviting our friends and a few fans, and like most of my all of my friends have either had COVID already or the vaccine.
Yeah, right.
So I think we're gonna be fine on COVID, and everyone else that like is like questionable will just have to wear a mask or something.
Dude, I know a lot of dope homies in LA, dude. That would it'd be on some Project X shit, dude. Like that's awesome. That's
well,
so
if they
sick that you're
want
doing
to come to the first one ever, it's happening this Sunday. If any of them are hearing this podcast.
Where is it? Where is it in LA? Like LA? Like just like in the middle of LA?
LA, dude. Echo Park Lake specifically.
Sunday, not in 2 days, right? Like in 9 days?
What? I think he means
in 2 days or in 9 days?
This Sunday, 2 days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was gonna say if it was in 9 days, I'd fucking go, but like 2 days, like we kind of got.
I just dropped a few thousand on it on Amazon right before. So we checked out the house yesterday, and then I basically purchased everything this morning, like literally right before this podcast, because Amazon 2-day shipping. It's all arriving on Saturday, and we'll see what happens, I guess.
What do you do outside of YouTube to like be able to chase your dreams, etc., like to be able to be financially supported? Is that
right now just YouTube?
Really? Respect.
Yeah.
Good for you.
And then so I made a bunch of money from my Scientology series. I snuck into Scientology, exposed all their secrets. I have a slackline company. I sell my own slackline.
Right. That's sick.
Is
that in your descriptions?
No, it probably should be.
It should be, for sure. It should be.
Yeah.
You don't even have to mention it in your videos. It could just be there.
Before that, I was traveling the world as a professional slackliner, just going to different competitions. I only got paid if I won. I guess I worked at Universal Studios for a summer, like during Halloween Horror Nights. That was like a 3-month gig that got me a bunch of money. But yeah, just random gigs, just barely making rent every month. And this is the first month where it's like, dude, I have a lot of money now. And because I just recently, like before I was getting like 3,000 views a video, and now it's like, I just changed up my editing style, which is what I said. I was just like I need to do something no one's ever done before.
In a closet and then
dude, that's my favorite. That was my favorite line of this entire podcast. Like, oh, dude, you're like, I just get high as fuck.
It's crazy you say that, because in my head I'm thinking that's the preview for this podcast too.
Oh,
yeah, dude.
Sure.
I mean, because before what I was doing, people were like, dude, that's crazy. But it's just, you kind of lost me. Like, I didn't really get if it was edited better, maybe I would have followed it better. But like, it seemed really cool. I just couldn't follow it. And so I'm like, okay, how do I like make this good? I got really high one night and I'm like, okay, this is how I'm going to do it now. Like, I got to create something that the audience actually wants to see, not something that's just like people
don't realize how much work goes into it. They don't.
Yeah. Because before it was just like, I would focus on like, okay, what am I going to do? Making sure that what I'm doing is like the coolest thing ever.
Right.
But I wasn't focused on like, how is an audience going to view this? Now I'm focused on how am I going to showaycase this to my audience in a way that is actually watchable.
They think your 8-minute video takes fucking, like 8 hours to edit. When really
it's like 20 hours a day. So my sleep schedule is weird. I stay up for about 20 hours editing and then I sleep for like 8 hours. So if you it doesn't
it does a 4-hour
20
shift.
plus 8 doesn't add up to a 24.
Yeah.
So I end up, that's why like you try to get me to this podcast for like 2 weeks and I'm like,
I figured it was the best way to do it.
Like midnight.
Yeah.
Like I wake up like 4 hours later every single day because of that. So it's like if I wake up at like 8 a.m. today, then tomorrow I'm probably waking up at noon.
Yeah, I definitely mind fucked. I didn't realize it was like that. Like it shifts 4 hours. I would just keep.
No, I just edit until like I can't edit anymore. So it's usually like I'll do like 20 hours and then because I'm like so psyched about these ideas and then I just sleep and I don't set an alarm because I hate like waking up and feeling groggy. So if I just wake up when my body naturally wakes me up, then I can edit for 20 more hours again the next day. And yeah, it's nuts, dude.
It's dope, man. That's dope.
Ben, you remind me of Eric.
Oh yeah, dude. Eric actually hit me up from the Banana series. He really liked that. And then it was back when I think I had more subscribers than him and it was nuts. He had like 5,000 subscribers, and I actually had just found out about it. It was right when he did his Dan Bilzerian video. So it was right when he was blowing up. I saw his Dan Bilzerian video. I was like, dude, this is the craziest guy I've ever seen on YouTube. This guy is nuts. Like, I gotta meet this guy. And like the next day, he DM'd me. I'm like, no freaking way, dude. Like,
Crazy how the world
and now
works.
he's just blowing the heck up, dude. Like, he's in another world now, dude. He's been so successful. He's like the hardest working YouTuber I've ever met in my life. He's like, he has a dream and he will do anything to chase that dream.
Yeah, I fuck with him. I fuck with him heavily.
Happens in real life.
Didn't he have something to do with like a pink boat or some shit he did with like a pink boat?
Pink boat? I don't know. Was that the thing he dropped off in Logan Paul's house?
Yeah.
The couch. The couch.
No, it was a big pink boat. It was a big pink boat that he put in Logan Paul's pool. You know what's funny? We hit that boat with a fucking bus. He drove it from there to Florida to Turner's warehouse, my buddy's warehouse, and we fucking drove a battle bus through it and just absolutely destroyed it. And the funny thing is, Turner never even used the footage, bro. He never uploaded it once. Like, we just like did all that for no fucking reason, dude. Like, it was fire too. It was sick. He had a friend. He had a friend. Fuck, I'm forgetting his name and I feel bad about it. But he's the one that did it all. Like him and his other buddy. It wasn't Eric himself. It was his accomplices that drove it down.
Dang, dude.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, Eric he actually used to stay at our house when he would come to LA. We had a little like tiny like little room in our back. It's like probably 8 feet wide, but it's a little closet pretty much. And he would just sleep in the little closet room. It was really cute. And now he's like super rich and can just afford whatever he wants.
Crazy. It's crazy how exponential social media is. You work for years, like, 4 or 5 years, $0 almost, and then it just happens. Yeah,
dude.
What are your plans, Ben? What are your like next 5 years? Where do you want to be?
Plans? So, dude, there's like probably the 3 directions I'm looking of going is the Banksy painting, like the banana. I think
you want to finish that. Yeah, you could definitely
really
continue it with a new editing style.
Because there's 2 outcomes. We either sell it for a bunch of money. That's a huge win. Then I use that money to create whatever content I want. Because, like, say I want to like build the world's biggest rope swing or something. Now I have the money to do it because I just sold this painting.
Have you watched the TED Talk with the paperclip in the house?
Oh yeah, I have seen that. That was nuts too, dude. That was crazy. It's all about offering value, like finding what value you can find other people. That guy.
Like, I'm sure the fact that
genius.
you're doing a series on it, and now that you have like a big name, it'll fucking, it'll affect it.
It's kind of just like an ongoing bit. It's like, and then the other option is we never sell it, and then we just have endless content of us trying to sell it. Like, we'll just keep upping the stakes of how far we're willing to go to like maybe we'll sneak into like some crazy or like infiltrate some crazy like cult or something, like get them to like see what they can do to sell it. Like, there's endless ideas we have of how we can sell this painting, and it's just gonna be endless content, which is why we haven't sold it for like, if you would have asked me last year, like, oh, $10,000, I would have been like, yes, dude, I would love to sell this for 10,000. But now it's like, I see the opportunity. I see the opportunity of content that it can give us, and it's like, I'm down to do whatever.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited for what you have in store. Like, I'm telling you, it's very rare that I get excited for somebody's upload because I don't watch. Ever since I started making content myself, like and made a name for myself, like, I stopped watching. I don't have time. It's always what's the next piece of content. But when I see a fucking Ben Schneider video, I'm like, every so often someone comes out like that, every few years. And like, now I'm excited to fucking see what you do.
Thanks so much.
We have a question, by the way, that we ask at the end of every podcast, Ben. It's the Branders question. One day, who's your celebrity crush?
Celebrity crush. Oh wow. That's a hard one. Probably have a lot of them.
Like one person, if you could, marry one of the, like the hottest person in the world, who is that?
Oh,
it doesn't have to be exactly the hottest, but like who, right now, who comes to your mind?
To you, the hottest person to you.
Right now, I don't know. Maybe I think Miley Cyrus is pretty cool.
Okay.
how she just like kind of goes against what everyone says,
Right.
and just does her own thing.
But
Ooh,
is
I don't
that off
know.
personality or is that off looks? I'm saying strictly looks. Zero personality.
Both. Well, I think
You're
think
fucking.
looks
You're not even marrying. How about that?
I think personality has a lot to do with looks.
Right, but
I think
I agree with you.
just straight
I agree
looks.
with you. But
Let's
just
see.
straight looks for the purpose of this question. You'll see why.
Well, I already said Miley Cyrus. Let's keep it.
All right, let's go with Miley Cyrus. What about the hottest dude you know? Like Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, you know, maybe that's what's like considered, I guess, the
Zac Efron
Zac
or
Efron.
James Franco.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's good
Zac
picks.
Efron.
All right, so Zac Efron, Miley Cyrus. One day, surgeries are gonna get so good, Ben, so good that you won't be able to tell, you know, when someone has undergone, you know, transition surgery, and it'll like, let's just say Zac Efron, you know, was born a woman's transition into a male, so he looks exactly like Zac Efron, exactly like Zac Efron. Everything's the same, voice, body, but he's got a vagina. Okay, or or Miley Cyrus looks exactly like Miley Cyrus, voice, everything. She can sing fucking The Climb, and you wouldn't even know. But she's got a penis. You gotta go down on one. Who are you going down on?
Oh, probably Zac Efron.
Wait, no.
No.
Why not? But
No, it's
I'd
fine.
rather
It's
go down on a vagina than a dick, though, right?
Okay, but it's Zac Efron's vagina. You know,
So?
which one's less?
Zac Efron, dude. I'm standing by that for sure, dude.
That's fair. Are you from New York?
I'm from Ohio.
We have out of the 45 times we've asked this question, about eight or nine people have answered that, the male with the vagina.
That's it?
Yeah,
Well,
and
all the other people
seven of them are from New York.
Well, I mean, I'll let anyone have their opinion, but they're all wrong. the
For
people
sure, there's
that
no
said-
wrong in this answer. That's why it's the fucking, you know, it's just like the what the fuck question.
Bro, if there's anyone's box to eat out though, Zac Efron's definitely like a better one.
For sure, definitely one of the better ones of the ones.
You just put a bag over their head, you know, like.
Yeah, nah. I mean, dude, if I'm in that situation, I know it's Zac Efron. I'm looking him right in his little eyes, dude. You know
Actually, yeah, I'll look him in his eyes too. How? I mean, think about the story, dude. You'd be the life of the party, dude. Telling everyone like, "Yo, I just went down on Zac Efron's vagina, dude." Like,
and you could,
everyone would love that,
you could
dude.
Instagram pick that. You're not rooftop, and you're just topping at that point, and you could save the story on your fucking.
Dude, I would ask if he wanted to sing during. You know what I'm saying? Like while I'm down there, he just like sings like a throwback from the High School Musical. That'd be fire, dude. You know, get your head in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like type shit.
Has anyone said both? I actually might change my answer to both. I feel like if I had that opportunity, why not do both? You know?
My god, this guy.
I mean, I'm with you for sure. I mean, yeah, like you know, when you're there, you're there. Fuck it. I mean, most people say the chick with the dick for sure because yeah, you know, once you get over the dick, you know, you got the chick, you know, like for the rest of it. So it's like whatever, you know. Yeah. Because here's the thing, like you just want to be done doing it and then like leave, or you want to be like done doing it and then like you know get to know Miley Cyrus a little bit. Although I will say, Zac Efron's an excellent one because I will say, after I get done with Zac Efron, I'm for sure pounding his shit. You know what I'm saying? Like why not? You're already there.
Yeah, dude. That's I don't know. I would do both if I can change my answer to both. That's my new answer.
Ben, what are your socials? Where can people find you?
Where are my socials?
What are they? Like, just tell people.
So, Reckless Ben on YouTube is my YouTube. That's the main one. But also Instagram. I'm trying to get my Instagram followers up because that way I can DM people to collab and they'll be like, oh, this guy has a lot of followers. Maybe I should collab with him, you know?
It works.
So I'm trying to get my Instagram followers up. So it's at Reckless Ben Schneider. Reckless Ben was taken. Reckless_Ben was taken. So Reckless Ben Schneider next best.
You think those
Schneider's
other two Bens, do you think they're even reckless?
Dude, see, that's a problem you gotta solve. I mean, that'll help blow your Instagram up, bro.
Dude,
solve that problem.
It doesn't matter how reckless they are. It matters that they were reckless before me.
Wow.
They claimed it first. So I'll give it to them, you know?
Bro,
that's what it's all about.
That'd be a funny series though. You figure out how to get Reckless Ben, bro. You figure it out and you go to whatever lengths you have to, and that'll help blow up your Instagram too, because like the whole focus is on the fact that you have an Instagram. You know what I'm saying?
That's so funny. I'm down.
All the links are in the description if you guys are watching. Thank you for fucking making it to the end of the podcast, whether you're on Spotify, Apple, or YouTube.
Yes.
This is where